I didn't actually realise that Haven was going to be coming back in this update into comp, so I've just jumped in, done a quick refresher of all the lineups that I had, and so here we go. They are all the same except for one that for some reason doesn't work anymore, but I have got a new version of it that works. But I'll start with setups, and starting with I've always been weird about this map. It is a very good Killjoy map, but in terms of like damage setups, not the best. You've got the very standard setup, but you just chuck a molly like around here,
Placing swarm grenade.
and then one here
Placing swarm grenade.
with an alarm bot.
Alarm bot out.
That way, when they push in,
Swarm grenade out.
it kind of melts anyone on default. Except this one, that update before Haven was removed, kind of made this one a bit worse because now they can just see the mollies earlier.
Placing swarm grenade.
And shoot them.
Placing swarm grenade.
So from back here, they'll already be able to see a molly and don't get hit by the alarm bot until here. But every now and again, it still will catch a team off guard. Particularly in low reload when they're not looking for the mollies as much, but in high elo, it still works. And then the other one that I sometimes use against a team that pushes sewers a lot is one molly at the top of like this little lighter spot. Covers all of that. So I like to put that with another molly either like just on the side of this box so it can't be shot, or just a bit out like that. Like that for when they push in, which also hits like back here. Or if they're trying to push through it, you got that set up. And then that's really it for A. I like to, with this setup, put a turret like here, sometimes even on top of this box. They can't, if they're not looking too hard, they won't shoot it from there. But if they are shooting it, you can just tuck in this corner, or just put it somewhere else. And then for this one, I put the turret up on this box.
Recalling my bot.
For B, you won't generally be playing Killjoy too much on B, but Haven is a map where you can just switch sites a lot. So if you do happen to be on B, it's more of a just stop the plant kind of site. But I do like to either put the turret up here, which gets early info on a window, looking over that box.
Bot coming back.
Or I'll just put the turret in like a normal spot here. Or I'll be spreading out and putting the turret somewhere on C, and then keeping an alarm bot here. But the good thing here is that your mollies can hit like a nice big area, like one here and then one here. That hits like a lot of the site, and can really stop a push from coming in. Or if they're hugging corners, you can put mollies on these ledges, which can stop a push in and do damage here, which is another good setup. Other than that, or you can just put them on default, which stops the plant, but these ones can stop that anyway. For C, once again, it's not the best site, but it can work. You've either got something like this, just to stop the push in, but then that gives them a bit of a gap here. So you can adjust it so that it's a bit more with this molly like out. Somewhere like around this bit of light here. Covers everything a bit better. Or against a team that's just going to push through it anyway, and that's not going to stop them. What you can do is then alternate it to try to get a kill. And what I do is I put like one molly there, and then one molly like just out from this line here. And try to blend anyone that tries to push in into this area. Other than that, that's really all the setups. Mostly Haven is played as more of an info, and obviously this turret has been nerfed now. You can no longer place like a turret here to watch C-Long and Garage, but instead it just means that you'll have to play more. You can still play towards B and just instead put it like here, which will still hold that. The issue is it'll just get destroyed a bit easier if they push here.
Recalling my bot.
Or you can get a little bit
Turret
If you
out.
chuck it behind the box, it'll get a little bit later info on C, but it won't see them until like they're already like pretty much on the site.
Bot coming back.
Of course, you've also got turrets like the one on this box or on top of
Here.
this box just to see long and get that
Bot
info.
coming back.
And then obviously alarm bot garage if you're dealing with lurkers. I do have an issue because this is the map where you will a lot of the time just be asked to have you two in garage, which is completely fair. But a lot of the time it's from people that want you to put a alarm bot in garage because they're 5-man rushing garage every round. And I'll just be the one to say it. Your alarm bot in garage is not going to stop them 5-man pushing garage.
Recalling my bot.
So, if they're just going to keep 5-manning it every round, you can just tell your teammates that your util being here isn't going to stop that. They're just going to keep pushing. That info util's more for lurk plays, and you're probably better off either... Probably better off having an actual player hold it, or having someone take your site so that you can have more util in here, because sometimes I will chuck like a molly here, there, and a molly back with an alarm bot. Just to try to blend anyone that comes in, get a bit of damage, and now that will stop a push, except most of the time you don't want all your util in garage. Unless that's what they're doing every round. And then in terms of lineups, I'll start with A. The standard lineup for default, everyone knows this one, up against the sandbags here, and then just aim at the top of at the corner of the roof.
Placing swarm grenade.
Or if you want to be a bit more to the right, aim below. Aiming below anywhere gives you the same result, but just changes where it lands. Like that.
Swarm grenade out.
Or like that, if you want a bit more to the right. That's your standard lineup. And then another lineup for that spot is to come up in this gap here, if you happen to lurk through mid, or get into spawn, up into this gap, and aim your line between your turret and your ult, in between that little gap there, like that, and throw.
Swarm grenade.
That one also lands default.
Swarm grenade out.
And then, from this position also, ult lineups, this ult leaves a gap long.
My ultimate is ready.
So for this one, what you want to do is, once you ult, come into this corner here, and you got this corner of the window, you want to just put the line between your molly and your alarm bot into that corner, like that, and throw. And that will land long with the ult.
My ultimate is ready. Swarm grenade out.
And then another ult lineup, this time for attack. When you ult in this corner sewers, or I'm pretty sure, I never ult from long, but yeah, I prefer to just ult from sewers. I'll ult in sewers,
My ultimate is ready.
which leaves a bit of a gap in heaven, which you don't really want someone standing here shooting you, even if it's not smoked off. Good idea to clear it. What I'll do is I'll ult, and then I'll run back. This is the one that changed. I don't know what they did, but for some reason the old lineup doesn't work anymore. Which was, the old one was, I've tested it so many times, it was to put your, like HUD that pops up with the molly in the middle of this line, like there, and jump throw. I've checked it so many times, and it just doesn't work anymore. It'll hit the top and bounce off. So, I've got no clue why that's changed, whether they changed something, which I don't think they did, but it just doesn't work anymore. So instead, what we're going to have to do is put it more to the right, like where it is right there. So instead of in the middle, aim more towards this corner. If you aim too far in the corner, it won't work. But just aim a little bit out from the corner, and then that'll still land heaven. It'll bounce. You need to get it to bounce off here now, and clear that angle, and get a lot of kills, because they also really can't run out of it, because they have to run the full distance of the molly. So that's all the A lineups. For B, I've got two lineups. One for the front plant, which for that one, what you want to do is come into the corner here and just find this kind of like triangle here, where the like stone kind of meets the roof. Aim in that
Placing
corner
swarm
and then just
grenade.
throw it without messing it up. Okay.
Swarm grenade
What happened there?
out.
I aimed a bit like too far out from the corner. Like just really aim in the corner
Placing
throw.
swarm grenade.
and then it'll land fun.
Swarm grenade out.
And then for this one, I didn't actually check that one, but for memory, the lineup is to come to in front of this one that doesn't have the little thing poking out of it, and then aim at like the bottom corner of this tile, this white tile, and jump through that
Placing
one.
swarm grenade.
Okay, that one's also changed.
Swarm grenade out.
That used to be what the lineup was. I'm fairly certain it was even just aiming anywhere on this brick. But, so it looks like we're going to have to aim a little bit below.
Placing swarm grenade.
Yeah, so just aim a little bit lower than what
Swarm grenade
it used to
out.
be. Find the brick that we used to line up with, and just aim a little bit lower. Instead of on the corner of the brick, a little bit lower.
Placing swarm
And
grenade.
Don't mess it
Placing
up.
swarm grenade.
Yeah, and then that lands
Swarm grenade
for that
out.
plant spot. Okay, so now for C, this looks a lot more colourful for some reason. For C,
Swarm grenade out.
the lineups I have for default come up against this little thing sticking out, and then just aim at like this corner here.
Placing swarm grenade.
That's default.
Swarm grenade here.
And then for long, just come to the other side and make sure you jump up and throw at that same corner.
Placing
And if you
swarm
want
grenade.
default here, you can just like aim somewhere a bit to the
Placing
right,
swarm grenade.
a bit further to the right, but
Swarm
that
grenade
one's
out.
mainly for long anyway.
Swarm grenade out.
If you want one for default, I'm pretty sure you can just aim like a lot further to
Placing
the
swarm
right
grenade.
and still get one for default.
Swarm grenade out.
Yeah. And then two more for default. If you come up against this plank here and aim the tip of your turret with this lamp here, like that, with that top corner, and jump throw,
Placing swarm grenade.
lands default,
Swarm grenade out.
and then from here you can aim at either one. This one works better, putting that bit of util beside the ult on that little bit, or it can really work anywhere here. But how I remember it is I end up normally remembering it by putting it on this like gap here, but this works the
Placing
best.
swarm
They
grenade.
both land.
Placing swarm
Anywhere
grenade.
around there lands really.
Placing swarm grenade.
Yeah,
Swarm grenade
that's all
out.
for default. Any of those. And then, which from the same position, you also have an ult lineup. If you put your ult in like garage anywhere,
Initiated. My ultimate is ready.
you end up with a gap big enough for one, maybe, yeah, like 2 people on site, which can be cleared out with the same spot, and then just aiming in this gap.
Air. Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
And now, another lineup for the
Here.
same spot, but this time when you're attacking, you'll be able to get a bit of damage from this one. If you come across as your team's pushing up and jump into that same corner as before, and that same bit of ult line, that line beside the ult, we're going to put it along this almost like straight branch of the tree that's sticking out, those leaves, like that, and then jump through,
Placing swarm grenade.
and that'll clear out the person playing backside.
Swarm grenade out.
Which obviously they either have to peek out or they have to try to like jump up here. Which by the time it lands at their feet and they jump up here, they're gonna have taken at least like 50 damage maybe. And then if you have a teammate that's already pushed up to like cubby, they'll be able to just shoot the person jumping up. which that one, I remember it was one of the
Here.
ones I found pretty recently, like right before Haven got removed, so haven't had too much time to test it, but it works. And then, other than that, that's pretty much it for Haven, unless I'm seriously forgetting something, but I don't believe that I am forgetting anything. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have for Haven. I know other people have different lineups. Like, there's a lot more lineups to clear out angles. Like, I haven't yet learned a lineup to clear, like, this
Here.
angle. Because I find that it's not worth it as much. Because not too common to have someone playing this angle. They might play it, like, once per game. But it's easy enough to just clear pushing out of sewers. I'd rather keep my mollies, but that's another lineup you can learn. And then I feel like I had one for backside
Here.
at one point. No, that was on Pearl. I had one for behind the box on Pearl. So that's it for Haven. So enjoy.